What is going on, everybody? Welcome on in, guys, to the Ole Miss schedule preview and predictions here. 2026 is right around the corner. Seth Douglas here with me, and our guy Luca is in the building here as well. We're going to go ahead and break down very quickly the end of the 2025-26 season. The good, the bad. Are they going to be as good as people are saying that they're going to be? Seth, I got to be honest, brother. I'm seeing a little bit too much hype for my liking online, but I know I'm in the minority for people that are all over Ole Miss this year. So we will see what happens. But my man, as we jump in here, as we give our schedule predictions, I want your quick thoughts on the end of last season. What was your biggest takeaway there at the end of that playoff run?
Man, I can just say movie cinema at its peak. That Georgia and Ole Miss game going down to the wire, just pure cinema. And we just saw the birth of a new star in college football in Trinidad Chambliss. That's all I can say.
Luca, my man, I got to bring you in here, and I got to bring up the Trinidad thing. And I'll get into his stats here, guys, in just a couple of minutes when we get rolling about this schedule. But Luca,
please
my man, the Trinidad thing. Guys, it's been a year. Guys, they got exposed at the end of the playoffs. Guys, can we just pump the brakes just a little bit? If I see Trinidad Chambliss first overall, Trinidad Chambliss Heisman again, I'm going to freak out, bro. So, Seth, if you recall, by the way, Luca, you weren't around last season for this, but I couldn't have been more correct last year on the quarterbacks going into the 2025-26 season. Every single one of them that everybody hyped up, I said fraud, and they ended up being a fraud. So, Seth, I'm just saying, brother, I get a little say here. So anyway, Luca, how are we feeling about Chambliss? Is he as good as people are saying that he is?
I would say he is exactly how people talk about him. Passing for almost 4,000 yards during the season, he established himself as the face of the offense. There's other people to thank, like Harrison Wallace, but he's no longer with us. But I say he is literally the face of the offense, and I would agree with most people when I say he is legit.
All right. Well, Seth, I'll get into it with you here in a few minutes. When you end up one of these games, you're going to be like, "Oh, I got Trinidad for 6 touchdowns in this one," and then I'll talk shit to you then. But anyway, guys, really quickly, going to go ahead and pull up a quick photo here of that schedule here for Ole Miss, kind of how it ended last season in the playoff run. They played Tulane. They absolutely take the belt out on them. 41-10 here. Then you got Georgia, Ole Miss pulled the upset off on the first of the year here, 39-34. And then finally, Miami taking an L to Miami here, 31-27. Ole Miss technically gets upset by Miami in that one. And then they open the season here with Louisville at home in Ole Miss. I'll go ahead and go first here. I know a lot of people are kind of hyping up this Ole Miss team this Louisville team and saying that they're going to be all these things and, oh, what a great first week. And look, it's week 1. So I guess if you're Louisville, this is when you want to catch them. You know, this is the moment when the hype train's as high as it's going to get. But I don't think Louisville's going to win this game. As tough as I'm going to be on Ole Miss during this show, I don't think Louisville can pull off this win. So I will go ahead and make it 1-0 unless you guys want to disagree with me here. Are we all good to say 1-0 here for Ole Miss?
Yeah. Closer game than we think, though, but 1-0.
Closer. That's what I'm saying. It could be an L, and if it is, all y'all better stop fucking. It's over right there. It's over right there.
It is not an easy place to play in Nashville. I'll give them that, which makes it a pretty big challenge for the season opener, obviously. But with the power that Ole Miss has, I'd say that they can pull it off and start the season undefeated.
Okay. 1-0 here. Seth, coming over to you, my brother. Charlotte at Ole Miss. What a shocker. Another home game back-to-back. Seth, could this be an upset?
Absolutely not. Same way we saw them take BTA to Tulane in the regular season and in the playoff game. Same story. No need to even talk about this game.
All right, Luke, I'm not even going to ask you, brother, because if you said it's a win against Louisville, then it's a win against Charlotte. So 2-0 here for Ole Miss. Luca, coming to you, LSU. Oh, we know what is at stake in this game. We got people dating people's daughters. We got coaches jumping ship. We got students talking shit We got everything coming into this LSU Ole Miss game, but it is the third game of the season and the third game at home here for Ole Miss. Luka, is this a win for the Rebels, or does LSU come in here and spoil the party?
Oh, it won't be easy because we got Lane Kiffin, the previous coach for Ole Miss before the playoffs started last season. It'll be his first return to Oxford since his departure. And it's a game that should have a potential Mississippi National Guard on standby just in case. That's all I'm saying. Both teams will likely be ranked in the top 15 at kickoff, but given Ole Miss's firepower, I'd say while it's once again a close game, I think they got the experience necessary to take LSU down and go 3-0.
Seth, how we feeling?
I'm in the same accord. I think the emotions, the juice in that stadium, Ole Miss will definitely have the edge, but I do feel like LSU is going to be a team to not be messed with throughout the rest of the year. But I am looking at the quarterback position out there as well, with Sam Levitt coming in at LSU. But I think just the noise, all the pageantry, all that good stuff is going to lean to Ole Miss getting the win.
Oh, God. So, Luka, you don't know this about me yet, but I can't stand LSU. It has nothing. It's not how I grew up. I can't stand them. I don't like them. I didn't like when they had Brian Kelly. I thought Nussmeier was the most overrated quarterback of all time. Every year they get hyped up. Every year they fall short. I'm going to go Ole Miss here, honestly, because of – no, you know what? No, I'm not. See, this is the problem. All right, you know what? I'm going LSU, guys. I'm so sorry. I got to go ahead and jump ship here. I think Ole Miss is talking a little bit too much here. I think Lane Kiffin's got something for you. Got to keep one thing in mind. Lane Kiffin knows that team better than anybody else knows that team. And I get they're going to bring in new guys. They're going to do new stuff and whatever. But Lane Kiffin didn't get this deal. He didn't get all these crazy things for no reason. So I just feel like everyone public-wise is going to want to jump on this Ole Miss train here. And if you would have told me that Lane Kiffin was still coaching at Ole Miss, I would take Ole Miss. But I'm going to take where Lane Kiffin is. So painfully, give me LSU. Yes, Seth, what's up?
My only question to that is, do you feel like Lane Kiffin has figured out the defensive side of the ball yet? Because we got to remind you that the head coach of the new Ole Miss team is the reason why Ole Miss is leading. I think they were top 40 in defensive ratings all year long. So without Pete Golden by Lane Kiffin's side, I still don't know if Lane Kiffin knows how to coach a defensive side of the football team. So I just got to put that out there.
Well, look, if Lane Kiffin can't put the coaches around him to figure out how to play defense in a conference that he's going to have to learn how to play defense in really quick, because I agree with you. Some of those things we saw at Ole Miss were just not good enough. Then it's going to be bad. I mean, but here's the only thing. Ole Miss, my problem is, yes, they're going to put up points every game, and they're probably going to average around, 31, 34 games, just because they start with a couple of easy ones, and then from there, whatever. So maybe they average 31 to 34. LSU should be right there in that boat. My two biggest concerns for LSU, you pointed it out. First one's defense. Second one's the quarterback situation. They hype up all these kids, bro. All these kids are frauds, bro. They get 40 offers, and everybody thinks they're fucking good. Like, they're all frauds, most of them. And so that's the only thing I will give Ole Miss is that their quarterback is more established. He's just overrated. Just a little. Just a little. He's a dog. Guys, he's a dog. I don't want to get this twisted.
Yeah.
I like Trinidad. I really do. But chill, bro.
I hear you.
That's it. Okay. So anyway, painfully, I'll go LSU, but I honestly think that that's the better in me coming out. And that's the better in me saying LSU on the road. We're going to go ahead and get a dog spot here with LSU. I'm going to have to take it.
Overtime?
Huh?
I feel like this could be a overtime game, honestly. Third week of the season.
Game
I'm
this
looking
big.
forward to talking this game with you guys in week 3 because I have so many questions right now. Like, yeah. I want to sit here for the sake of the show and say, oh yeah, the overtime score prediction, bro. I have not even really seen the LSU guy in action. We haven't seen the defense from LSU. We haven't seen how they function under Lane Kiffin. There's still some crazy portal weird things going on in the middle of the summer right now. I don't want to get that deep in it. But all I can say to that question, Seth, is it should be an absolutely fantastic game. It should come down to the last 2 minutes. And basically, I'm going to take the dog, whoever it is, but I just feel like it's going to be LSU on the road. So that's how I'm falling. Hey, you give me LSU plus or Ole Miss plus money, I'll take that too. So we shall see. But anyway, fellas, we got to keep moving here. Otherwise, we're never going to get through this. So that said, Ole Miss go on the road after LSU to the Swamp, playing the Florida Gators here. Luka, I actually want to turn this to you, my man, before I give my take here. Gators in Gainesville. How's this one go?
Well, the Swamp is, well, I should say, it's never an easy place to play, I would admit. But the thing about Florida is they have been a pretty inconsistent team in recent seasons. And Ole Miss, like I said before, has the experience and the offensive firepower to survive this road test. Big, little difficult road test to begin the season, but I have confidence that Ole Miss can still pull it off, 100%.
Seth, really quick, not that this is the Florida show, but is Florida back this year? Or is this same old Florida that we've been seeing?
While I think we said last year that Florida has had a very difficult schedule and they also didn't really live up to expectation, I think we're getting a new lease on the Florida experience this year. They got a new head coach, new quarterback coming in, just a new everything, new culture coming around. So I do think they will be better and more organized, but I don't think they have enough firepower for Ole Miss in this game.
Well, the head coach is, jumping into a program that still has a lot of holes. That's the big thing. Right. So maybe they can hope that Ole Miss may be going through a hangover after that game with LSU.
I will jump in that bandwagon with you, Luka. I think that's a good point.
But even if they do have a hangover, it could still be, a close game, but still, Ole Miss may just be able to sneak out of the Swamp.
Yeah. This is where Trinidad comes into play and, makes a spectacular play just for you, Riggs.
I will agree. I know. I actually will agree with it here. Florida is the exact fucking team that would have a 4-point lead and would find a way to screw it up in 34 seconds with Chambliss on 3 passes for 81 yards down the field. That's exactly who Florida are. So I agree with you, Seth. I think this is a massive Trinidad game. The problem is that could be coming off of a letdown game against LSU. And so this is another one where we're going to have to kind of decide this, once the week gets going, because if Ole Miss come in here 3-0, big win over LSU, blah, 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 this game is probably almost unbettable. I mean, you're probably looking at like 13.5-point favorite or bigger for Ole Miss in this game. But if they come off of a loss and Chambliss has a game, which he probably will, I feel like this game could be a steal if you're betting against Florida in this one. So, guys, keep an eye on this one once we get to week 4. But all three of us going to go ahead and give this one to the Rebels here in week number 4. Then week 5, you got Ole Miss at Vanderbilt. Unfortunately, Diego Pavia's ass ain't going to be on the field. So it's not the same Vandy team, but we know they're trying to build something special over there. They did a lot of great things over the last 2 seasons. We've seen it on, the Netflix shows, whatever it was, Down South or whatever they called it. The SEC one, fantastic, guys, if you haven't watched it. Hopefully they're doing it again. But a Diego Pavia-less team here. Seth, coming to you first, man. Can the defense for Vandy get this done?
This one's kind of hard. I think, how I want to say, I think this Vanderbilt team will pose a lot of stress on teams in the SEC this year. They're breaking in a new 5-star quarterback, the highest rated quarterback that they've ever gotten. But that comes with a lot of learning curves as the year goes on. And this is week 4 we're talking about. So by that time, week 5. So I don't even know if the freshman is still going to have his legs under him by that time. So I think Ole Miss definitely comes in there, gets in, gets out. It may not look pretty, but they get this dub as well.
Luka, I might be tripping, brother, but I got this weird feeling. It's a weird feeling. Now, it feels a little bold at this point in time. But why does this feel like a game that Vanderbilt's going to hang around and make messy and potentially win? Am I tripping in that? Luka, I know you did the article on sports4media.com, which, by the way, you guys can all check it out. Website's there on the bottom of the screen. Luka broke down the entire Ole Miss team, schedule preview, predictions, etc. But, Luka, anyway, man, could this be a game against Vandy?
I would like to think so. But the big question is on that is if the new quarterback, Jared Curtis, can adapt to the college game, especially when he's playing in the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah.
I feel like Vanderbilt should remain a decent team in 2026, but I would expect them to stumble a little bit after, the whole Diego Pavia thing. And I feel like they're just going to stumble a little bit from where they were last season. Because of this, that would be the reason I take the Rebels. 100%.
I agree.
All right. I'm with you guys, man. If Diego Pavia was on this team, I think I'd be taking Vandy, to be honest with you, because they were just the best in the dog spot against the good team last year. But I'll join you guys here. Let's go ahead and go Ole Miss with another win. So depending who you are, depending what you've been saying, you are either 5-0 right now, or you are 4-1 if you think they drop it to LSU, or I guess potentially choke against Florida, guys. But pretty smooth sailing here thus far for Ole Miss. Then they got Mizzou, this one going down at Ole Miss, which is a big-time helper for them there. Mizzou, tough team to predict, always tricky, always have the potential to get it done here. But I think there's a lot of question marks on who Mizzou's even going to be this year. I look at their team, I think, okay, that could be a 10-win team. That could be a 6-win team if a couple little things don't go their way. So, Seth, how we feeling? Does Mizzou potentially be the one to hand them their first loss?
I honestly think this team in Missouri has a really viable chance of beating Ole Miss, creeping up on them, getting a win in a hostile environment. Eli Drinkowitz is always a good coach. He always stacks a 10-win season, despite how people feel about him in the SEC. And then on top of that, you have Chip Lindsey, the new OC coming from Michigan. We know he's going to have a chip on his shoulder after the debacle that happened in Ann Arbor with that whole situation up there. And even to add another key point, you got to look at Simmons, the new quarterback for the Missouri Tigers, coming from Ole Miss. And, he's definitely going to have a chip on his shoulder. So I think where we look at the Tigers, look at the Rebels and be like, not so fast, buddy. They go down.
Seth, as we're seeing on the screen here, is this considered a must-win game for the playoff hopes and everything else of Ole Miss, in your opinion?
I don't think so. I think the LSU game is the fork in the road when it comes to figuring out what this team is going to be. So I'll say the LSU game has the most onus early in the season to say this is a playoff team or not.
All right. Luka, must-win game against Mizzou. And fellas, no one's going out on too many limbs here talking about upsets coming this year for Ole Miss. Kind of smooth sailing here, Luka. Could this be your first?
I think
I would agree with Seth when saying this may not be a must-win game when it comes to, the playoff race, any implication or anything. I would agree when saying that LSU is definitely a win when it comes to a must-win game when it comes to early playoff implications. But the thing about Missouri is I actually kind of find it as one of the most underrated games on Ole Miss's schedule, honestly.
Yes.
Everyone talks about like LSU and Georgia and like teams like Oklahoma. But Missouri, I feel like, is good enough to really punish you if you're kind of looking ahead a little too much. That's why I define this one really as kind of a trap game. It's well coached under Drinkwitz. I'll give him that. But they're usually, I think, a little better than people give them credit for. But I think Ole Miss has the edge at quarterback, definitely. I make the statement that Chambliss is the best player on the field in that matchup. Plus, when they're playing in Oxford, that gives them a huge advantage. So that's what puts me on for Ole Miss to take it.
Fair.
Yeah. I'm with you guys. The only place I disagree with you is I don't know how you don't call this a must-win game. because I think they've gotten an L so far this year. It probably would be LSU if it's going to be anywhere. I don't really think that they screwed up against Vandy or Florida, but I don't know. Just when I'm being realistic, I feel like we have an L. So to me, this is the 10-2 game. If they drop it, then they got to win out if they really want to chance it at all, unless the committee's just going to do them the biggest favor in the world at the end of the year with 9 wins, and I just don't see that happening. So to me, this is absolutely a must-win game. And Seth pointed it out. You got a quarterback that wants revenge here in this one, and I don't blame him at all. This, to me, feels like a game that is an absolute must-win game. If you lose this against Mizzou, against your old quarterback at home in the juiciest part of the schedule, that is a fucking shot to the gut, my man. I got to go ahead and say here, it's a must-win game. That said, I'm with both of you, and I think Ole Miss do find a way to get this one done. But this is why I said it's a must-win game, folks. Look who's coming around the corner. You hop on the plane, and you fly down there to Texas to take on them Longhorns and Arch Manning here. Seth, you and I have had a lot of debates over the past 12 months about a little man named Arch Manning and that Texas team and Sarkisian, and are they legit and are they not? Do they get a win here against a potentially undefeated Ole Miss team in Texas?
See, this is where I feel like how you said this has the must-win game. The must-win games are in this 4-game stretch. If you can somehow immaculately just get out of there with only 1 loss, or if 2 losses, because I think they're undefeated by this time. So if they can just split these 2, then I think you're in a good spot. So I think they can lose. They'll lose to Texas, and then make it shake with Auburn, Georgia, and Oklahoma.
Luca, is this an L for you here in Texas?
Well, it's no doubt that Arch Manning remains probably one of the biggest names in college football. No doubt the toughest game on the Ole Miss schedule. And the fact that it's in Texas too makes it almost a death sentence when you're entering that stadium. If they would leave with a win, that would probably be argued to be one of the best victories in the entire country, not going to lie. But Arch Manning took a huge step forward in 2025 last season, and he enters this season as one of the Heisman favorites, no doubt. He's the biggest reason Texas is viewed as a national.
He did last year too.
Hold on,
he entered as a big favorite, going to be all these great things last year, and he didn't do shit. Let's just call it what it is.
I was about to say, what big step did he take? I don't remember him. Maybe in the bowl game, but like during the year, he
got better. He got better. But all these Arch Manning, once again, he's like Shameless, but it's even worse because his name's bigger and he makes more money from NIL. Like everyone talks about him like he is the cream of the crop, first round, first pick, no matter what. I mean, Luca, make his last name Johnson. How good is he, bro?
Chambliss went through the D2 ranks and then he got his shot in the Power 4 ranks. So I don't think we can compare him to Manning. Stories are a little different. I'll just put it like that.
Seth, hang on. I agree with you. However, Trinidad's got 1 year, bro. Like, pull up his stats, bro. I get, but it's 1 year. And all y'all are overhyping 1 year, dog.
He's favorite. What are we saying? What are we saying right now?
This is hard because I'm not disagreeing with you. They're just both kind of fraudulent. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I will admit, I think people think of him as a pocket passer because of the whole Manning name. But just from what he did, adding nearly 400 rushing yards and 10 rushing touchdowns, definitely the best quarterback Ole Miss will face all season. I think we can pretty much agree on that. Maybe
that's fair. It's fair. It's definitely going to be. It'll be discussed as, this is their biggest test yet. First, just because it's in Texas, like you said. But, dude, that LSU game is going to tell us a hell of a lot of what we need to know.
Exactly. Definitely. As for win or lose, well, definitely don't think this is going to be a blowout. Ole Miss has probably also, you could say, the best quarterback Texas could face all season, outside of maybe the other national contenders. But Trinidad can match points with almost anybody. I will say that.
Yeah.
But
Bro.
sadly, while not a blowout, I will have to admit this will most likely hand them their first loss of the season.
Yeah, I think something interesting to point out here too is that both of you guys kind of said that your reason that Ole Miss is going to beat LSU is because you don't trust that LSU defense yet on the road, coaching wise, whatever it might be. You don't love that defense. It's hard to argue that Texas defense at home is going to give them anything. I mean, Trinidad's going to have to go out here and win this game. And for me, Seth, you wanted to have your little moment in that Florida game. This is his big game. Yeah, against a bum. It is going to be his big game. However, this is going to be a game where he gets absolutely exposed if he's not careful. This defense will eat him alive. They will kill him in the pocket. They're going to make him run around and look dumb. He's going to take a few bad sacks. The question is, can he keep the ball out of the opponent's hands? Can he make the big plays when he needs them? Can they go for it on 4th and 2, 4th and 1, 4th and 3 inside the 50 and get it? There's a lot of question marks here that I have for Trinidad. That'll tell me a lot about him. And you know what? Maybe I'll come up here and give him an apology when it's all said and done. We will see. But one thing I will knock Texas for, on top of Arch just being a little bit overrated, he's definitely a better quarterback than he was entering last year. The hype last year, I mean, Seth, I told you, I thought it was just a joke. It was like, why are we even hyping that? And then he was worse than we even thought he was going to be. So like, whatever. But it's Sark for me. I am not a Sarkisian guy. Seems like a almost kind of nice guy, but he wants to be the villain, and he ain't the villain, okay? Mm-hmm. I just feel like they are so overhyped. They have so many expectations. When is the last time Texas actually lived up to / exceeded expectations? Every year, it's how good they're going to be. They are projected to be better than Georgia. They are projected to be better than Bama. They are projected to be better than Oregon. Like, dog, you put them against any of these teams in a playoff game, and I'm probably taking the opposition. I like Texas. I like their defense. I like their quarterback, and I like their coach, but I don't love anything about them. So
you almost
I'm going to give
me
this to Texas just because I got to throw a shot at Trinidad, but this is a very winnable game for Ole Miss, but give me horns up, baby.
You almost made me cave for them, but I'm a chill. I'm gonna wait until we get to their schedule prediction.
All right, fair enough, guys. We are rolling on through here. Tough one here. So LSU and Texas. I think you have to draw one up as a loss. I think, and if not, you probably have Ole Miss undefeated up to this point here, heading into Spooky Night, October 31st, Halloween. Once again, another big-time game that they get at home on a big-time date. Ole Miss really should thank the schedule makers here for this season schedule. But Auburn at Ole Miss, gentlemen, there's better games on this board I want to get to. So if you're both cool, please raise your hand if you have Ole Miss getting a win here. And if you don't, then leave it down and you can debate why Auburn's going to win. All right, bet. So that's a win there, Halloween against Auburn. We're moving on through here. Once again, at home, Georgia is coming to town, though. Little bit of a redemption game here. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here back at what happened. Previously, we got Ole Miss taking down number 3 Georgia on the first of the year there in the Sugar Bowl. So you already know Kirby and the boys got this one circled. Seth, who takes a win here?
I think I'm going to go with Georgia. This would be their second to third loss, possibly, just depending on how that Missouri game goes. But yes, give me Georgia. I think Kirby Smart. Funny enough, I'll make this real quick. I think Kirby Smart and Georgia gets underplayed when they're not like on top of the world. By me saying that, I think this Georgia team, despite them not being like the 2022 national championship, 2021 national championship teams, I think this Georgia team is going to be really, really good, and no one is talking about them, and that is a scary part. So I think Georgia is going to get the dub, and we're going to be talking about Georgia as the year goes on.
Luca, are you rocking with the Bulldogs?
Well, the biggest challenge I would say about Georgia is I don't think they have many weaknesses to attack.
Yeah.
People think Georgia. I think these days still they think defense. I mean, every year I feel like they have this. They seem to have another wave of NFL caliber defenders, and their running game is always physical. And the Rebels will have to hold up at the line of scrimmage. They don't rebuild; they reload.
Yeah.
Even when they have a new quarterback, they're going to have one of the most talented rosters in college football. So, you can argue one of the biggest home games in the Rebel schedules. And again, it could have a lot of implications for the playoffs, especially this late in the season. But even though the game is home, the kind of talent and that Georgia kind of has and the kind of consistent program they remain to be, I feel like Ole Miss will definitely have to prove that, it still belongs in the category of being elite, so big measuring stick game, I would call it. But
they don't rebuild, folks. They reload. Luka, that is one to tuck in my pocket for another show later this year. I'm going to go ahead and keep that one. I like that a lot. But you both nailed it. And Seth, I'm right there with you, man. People do absolutely forget who Georgia is. The second Georgia ain't ranked number one. Everybody starts talking about them like they just ain't that number one team. Seth, I know you and I last year were the ones that really did the majority of the schedule rankings for our top 25 and our poll rankings and all that stuff. And Georgia was one of those teams that we consistently kind of argued, where do they go? And we kind of both agreed, I don't know, but they're always top 6. Like they could go 2, they could go 5, they could go 6. But if you drop them out of 6, you're probably wrong at that point in time. So, guys, we will see what happens here. But, see, I have them losing to Texas. Yeah, I'm going to go Georgia too, just because if this does come down to coaching, I got to go Kirby. I don't care if it's on the road. I don't even think Georgia plays away games at this point. They are legit. They are experienced. They've done it all. So, yeah, go ahead and give me Georgia here as well. Then you go on the road to Oklahoma. Big time test here. End of the season crunch. You got Wofford and Mississippi State around the corner. So this is kind of the one here. They have probably lost 2 games up to this point. They cannot afford to lose to Oklahoma in this spot here. Luka, coming to you first, man. Is this a win for you? And what is your total record prediction here, assuming that you have them winning the last 2 weeks?
So, final record predictions, you're saying? Well, as for final record predictions, I would say easy 10-2 possibility on the regular season at least, which secures their spot in the college football playoffs once more. Depending on how close the games are, let's say the LSU game, it could push them down to 9-3, most likely. Or let's say an upset game happens, then 9-3 is also very likely. But in the final record, I would definitely put them at 10-2. They would be definitely winning the next few week games.
Seth, I got to be honest, man. I got a feeling you walked up in here and you were thinking, 10-2, Ole Miss, easy money. But now that you've looked at the schedule, when you really break it down, man, I know Luke is relatively confident in it. I know in his article he's writing about why they can get 10 of them. Seth, can they? I don't.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm with Luka. I'm heavy on the 10-2. Honestly, my games that they lose is between the Texas, Georgia, and Missouri. I could see those potentially being a 9-3 concoction right there. But I'm heavy on the 10.
LSU.
No, I got them beating LSU. I think
wow.
too much hate is going to be in that building, and just a lot of shit talking has been going on. A lot of people felt like they've been done wrong, and Lane Kiffin's head is going to be on the spike in Ole Miss. So I think Ole Miss gets that one done.
I'll give my record prediction here in 2 seconds, but first I want to ask you guys, do either of you, please speak up if you are one of them, do either of you have Trinidad as the Heisman this year?
Put me in, coach. Put me in. Yes, of course. 1,010% I got Trinidad winning the Heisman. He's not going to just be mentioned. He is going to win the Heisman Trophy. I don't care about no Arch Manning. I don't care about no Julian Sand. I don't care about saying Sam Levitt. I don't care about none of these other dudes. Trinidad showing y'all what it is and how he's about to take over his last and final year before he gets drafted in the NFL draft.
Seth, you heard the boos coming in, brother. That wasn't even me, dog. That's just the people telling you what they really think, dog.
We speaking on facts. We speaking on facts.
Oh, Luka. Look. And Luka, I do want to make it very clear. So I'm happy Seth went in and said exactly how he really felt. Because I don't want to hear none of that. Well, he could be the Heisman. Nah, fuck that. Is he your pick for the Heisman, Luka? Yes or no?
Just judging on what he did last season, the numbers he had, I would say he's definitely in the Heisman caliber. That's my opinion. Biggest thing working in his favor is that he's coming off a college football playoff semifinal appearance. So people around the country definitely know who he is right now. But the challenge, I don't think, would be the talent. It's the competition. Because you guys got guys like Arch Manning and got other quarterbacks on the playoff contenders who are going to be in the conversation too. So the thing for Chambliss is if he's going to win it, Ole Miss probably would need to actually go 10-2 or better, make the playoffs and give a signature performance in a game in those contender games from Texas, LSU, and Georgia. They'll definitely need to make a signature performance if Trinidad is going to be in that conversation. Favorite?
Sorry.
Can I just as for
sorry, go ahead. My bad.
As for like in the favorites, maybe not like right now, but I'd probably put him in my top 5. They reach the playoffs again, and he improves the numbers from last year. Then 100%.
It's too safe, Luka. I'm sorry, Luka. I gotta cut you here. It's too top 5.
I was about to say, who is your
top 5? Nah. If I gave you $1 million, Luka, and I said, go put this $1 million on the one guy you think is going to win the Heisman, would you use your $1 million on him?
Right now, probably not.
Yes.
I was about to say, that sounds like a no.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, he got there, Seth. He knows what's up.
But I know
Seth, look. Seth, I get it.
No, go ahead, Rick.
Look, if you base this off of what America thinks, if you base this off of the hype trains, sure, I can see why people are going to go bet Chambliss. But if you think that this guy is going to win the Heisman purely off of his stats, you could not be more wrong. They are going to lose 2 football games. I have them 9-3. I think that they end up falling short. I think they lose one too many. And I think things go wrong here. Look, could they lose to Florida, Vanderbilt, Mizzou? Could they lose one of them? They could. The problem is I think they lose the big ones. I think when you talk LSU, Texas, Oklahoma, those right there. I mean, I think they lose 2 of those. And I just don't see when you look at the rest of the schedule how they don't lose it. Oh, and they're going to lose to Georgia. Like, I think 3, bro, they could go 8-4.
I'm not saying you're not in the right ballpark, Riggs, but I'm also going to say this is a team that's also, granted, that lost a lot of people to the draft, or either Lane Kiffin coming in there like a thief in the night and just swooping up everybody. But they that's a fact. But they also reloaded with the second-ranked transfer portal class in this year's cycle. So let's put that in perspective. And on top of that, Trinidad, again, I'm just telling y'all, Trinidad has shown y'all he is a dynamic player. What have you seen over the course of these past, I'll say, 8 years of the NFL, the college football landscape? You need a dynamic quarterback, and look what Trinidad is. Dynamic.
All right, guys, real quick, we have a question from the YouTube live asking, is it worth betting them to go undefeated?
No, not do that.
I don't know what the odds are. I'm assuming it's around 8-1, probably in that ballpark. If you have the odds, let us know. I don't see them anywhere. But no, I mean, look, we got a dude here saying that they're going to be a playoff team and they got the Heisman, and he said no. So there you go.
We just ran off like 5 games where they have potential losses. Don't do it.
Don't get greedy. Don't get greedy now. All right, guys. Well, look, we'll see what happens. I am with Luka. I do not think he is the Heisman. Do I think he is top 3 favorite? Yeah. Do I think he'll be a candidate at the end of the voting. I do. I just right now on paper, I think that the hype is better than the talent. So I need to see more before I go put my money on Trinidad, but we'll see what happens here. Luca, and then Seth, any final thoughts here on Ole Miss 2026 football team and schedule preview? Luca, you got anything?
Well, all I can say is 100%, like I said before, one of the toughest SEC schedules in a college football season. So as historic as last season was, that is now behind them. So they're going to have to prove that they belong in the playoffs once more. So 10-2 is still what I'm going for. 10-2 I feel like also brings Trinidad into the Heisman conversation. Anything less than that, I feel like sadly it's not smart to, think that it can be likely. But all I'm saying, they're going to have to prove themselves worthy to stay elite with this hard schedule. And I think they can.
Yeah.
Can't say much more after that. All I got to say is we didn't even mention Kewan Lacey for the Rebels on the offensive side of the ball. Top running back coming back. Man, all I got to say is Trinidad. Trinidad's season is here. Just be ready for him to throw another 3,000 plus 25 TDs, something slight, but
All right, whatever. Now I got to go make like a edit with Trinidad. All gold in my watch. I got to go do it now. But anyway, fellas. All right, guys. All right, I guess last question. National championship. Do they win it? Yes or no? Seth, I guess I'll come to you since you got him. You got Mr. Heisman over here. Can't even win a damn championship. You hear that? Yeah.
Hold on. I'm not going. I'll wait for the next time. No,
I know, but I had to do it. I'm sorry. All right. We're good. Guys, this has been fun. Ole Miss 2026 season, guys. College football previews are back. We're going to have multiple for you guys every single week, including NFL ones. So we'll be doing NFL. We'll do division by division. We'll break down team by team, schedule previews, how we have the divisions finishing out once we get through the fourth team in each division in the NFL, and then vice versa in college football. Going to go ahead and run through basically what we project to be the top 25 rankings when the season's going to start. That's kind of how we're looking at which teams we're going to break down as well for you guys. So make sure to tap in 6 p.m. Thursday night and Friday night for the rest of this week. And then we'll have a schedule up for you guys on Sunday over the weekend to let you know what's coming up the next week there. But go ahead and give Luca a follow at Luca MRZZ, Seth Douglas at S&D Sports Media, myself at Rig Sports Talk. And please, guys, follow the Sports Forum at Sports Forum CO, and make sure to subscribe to that new YouTube channel for all those watching on YouTube right now. On our other channel, subscribe to that new one as well at Sports Forum CO, guys. We appreciate you. SportsForumMedia.com. You can check out Luca's article now. And until next time, guys, take care. Peace.